Good morning, praise the Lord. Let me finish my thing. Good afternoon if you're watching this in the afternoon. Good evening if you're going to go to bed. This is the Book of Racq podcast. I'm Racq. This is season 2, episode 1 of the Book of Racq podcast. And last time we spoke was in October, like middle of October. Do y'all know how much has happened since the middle of October? The last episode I put up was the 17th of October, I think. Yeah, I think that's the last date. It is now January of 2024. We in a whole nother year at this point. Do you know how much has happened in the last 75 days? Huh? Do you? No, like seriously. Y'all, I'm sorry. Happy New Year. Let me say that. Happy New Year. I pray that this year absolutely blows your mind and that God just makes good on all of his promises to you, and that you find yourself strengthened, better, feel better, love harder, and fully invested in everything that you're supposed to be doing. But when I tell you, these last whatever days of my life have been a total whirlwind. And wow. This season, I'm going to just declare it as the I don't know season, because the next however episodes, we usually do about 15. The next episodes will literally just be about the last 3 months, because the amount of things that have occurred, the amount of changes, and the difference that I am sitting in today compared to where I was sitting before we closed out. Y'all, I can't even put that into words. Are you for real? And it is a wonder that I am sitting here in my right mind, thinking on Jesus. Huh? Baby, let me tell you something. Y'all, I finished my 4th semester of college. First of all, I'm jumping ahead of myself. I'm just going to go on and tell you. Finished my 4th semester. And this spring was supposed to be my last semester. But there are 2 classes I got to retake, because life was just life, and they were also very difficult classes. But life was just lifing this past couple of months. So between that and everything else I had going on, it was a hard no. And I took 4 classes. They were fully loaded 4 classes, core classes, and I did not take into account how much work they were going to take. I just didn't. I thought they were going to be like easy breezy, like every other class I've taken so far. No, ma'am, no, sir. This snatched me up, and so 2 out of 4 got to be retaken. But we'll come back to that, because that's a whole story in itself. And finished that. I'm no longer single. Slow blink. Okay. That's about 4 episodes in itself. And what else? I experienced more grief, and probably the biggest grief that I've experienced in about a decade. And probably this is one of the biggest fears of my life. Yeah, happened that too. What else? I started therapy. I think we talked about that before I closed out. What else? I've officially made it to a year in my apartment by myself. Thank you, God. That's about another story. What else? I spent Thanksgiving away from my family for the first time in 30 years of my life. That's a whole nother story. I don't know. Y'all, this season is called I Don't Know. I do not know what to tell you. I don't. Y'all, this first couple of episodes gonna have be a whole lot of stuttering, cause I am confused as to how we have made it this far by faith. I just, Lord have mercy, Jesus. I am sitting at 31 years old. I don't have any children, but I am in a committed relationship. My viewpoint on things is changing by the day. How I navigate life is different. And just a lot has happened. I have had to be okay with not being in control. And I tell y'all all the time, as a recovering control freak, a former control freak, this is a lot to be in a place in my now 30s where most people, when you think about your 30s, they're supposed to be a little bit more settled than your 20s. They call it your 20s with money, So you're a little bit more settled, you're a little more secure, you're a little bit more stable. And the Lord is just like, let's go for a ride. Ooh, ooh. And I'm like, bro, hold up. I just be wanting the days to just, go by a certain schedule. But where's the fun in that, Where is the fun in everything being the same every single day? There's no fun in that. There's no adventure in that. There's no whirlwind. There's no excitement. It's just like, bleh, we just here, So I'm thinking the Lord has just decided that I am built for some different kind of challenges and different kind of experiences, because here I am. A mess and a half. And I just, not a mess and a half. The wonderful thing is, I was talking to my therapist the other day. And the wonderful thing is, she said to me, I was thinking it, but she said it. She said, it sounds like you're in such a joyous, amazing, wonderful time of your life, but also there's this despair and grief and all at the same time. I said, all at the same time, sugar. All of it happens simultaneously. And I'm just like, how is that the case? And then I saw a post about it too. A meme that said something, and I'm paraphrasing now, but it was saying the last year, or how is it that the last year was one of the most beautiful times of my life and the most horrible or despairing times of my life at the same time? And I said, okay, I'm not the only one. Because some beautiful moments happened. Some really amazing things happened for me. Some really key, oh my God, God did moments happened for me. Some key nobody but God moments happened for me. Some key, wow, Lord, you thought enough of me to let that person take care of that for me, or you did that for me, or you provided. Or I have tons of moments of that. I have I talk about it all the time. I have my grateful list. And every single day I write down something I'm grateful for. And even if it's a matter of I ate today, or I breathed, or I woke up and my limbs were working, if that is all I can say, at least I wrote down something every single day, every day. And I have found myself in a place of extreme gratitude. Like, who wouldn't serve a God like this? Because there's just no way like I should be this at peace that I am, considering all that has occurred. So it's like all these beautiful, amazing, oh my gosh, the sun is shining, it's 70 degrees outside, the Lord is so kind to me moments. And also like, I'm fighting for my life. I'm fighting for my mental health. I feel like I'm going absolutely insane. How do I keep taking blows to my heart? How do I keep dealing with grief? How do I keep how does this area of my life keep getting attacked? Why can't everything be calm? Why can't there be peace? Why can't I just rest without something being wrong? Why is every time I get a text that says they're checking in, I think somebody done passed away at this point? And so navigating that space has been so interesting. And so it's like a combination of trying to write it out. And the last couple of weeks, truly, I have a journal, but honestly, the last couple of weeks have been so like, ugh. I don't even know what to put on the first page. I don't even know what the first word should be. I don't even know if it should be the, so, and, hey, cat, dog, go to hell. Nothing. I don't know what it should be. Where to even start, because my brain is just like on the fritz. Like Saturday, let me back up. I have been gone. I'm just getting back to my house this week. I was gone for a month. Thank God I work in education now. So once the school shuts down, I'm off. And the Lord worked it out that way because he just knew what kind of end of year I was going to have. He set that up better than I ever could have. He knew I was going to need that time off. And I only had to use a little bit of time to get extra days without I had to leave. But he knew the kind of month I was going to have and that I was going to have to be gone. I've been away from my house for a month. And so I've spent this week just existing, trying to get back in the swing of work, being back in my house, cleaning, readjusting, trying to reorganize, getting groceries because I ain't had no food. I'm in here starving. Like, doing all of those things. And so Saturday, I chose to sit, like, do nothing, rest. I was in and out of sleep until at least 2:00. And I made myself get up at 2:00. And one of my friends was calling me. And so I took that one day to rest my body, because I hadn't had one day to just sit in solitude. I hadn't. And so I needed a day that I did not have an agenda. I said, whatever food is in this fridge is going to be it. I went to the grocery store Friday to get some things that I knew I could just munch on yesterday. So I wouldn't have to leave my house. I did not want to leave my house. So I did the necessary things to do that. And I just needed a second. So I rested all day. But when I woke up the first time, tears were just flowing out. Just flowing. I couldn't control. At first, I was trying to like wipe them up, and I heard God be like, "Stop trying to wipe them. Like, let them go. You're home. You're at peace. Nobody's around. You don't have to be strong right now. If you fall apart, like it's okay." So I stopped trying to wipe the tears and just let them come. And I can't even tell you what the source of the tears were or where the source came from, because there were so much has happened. I don't know what the tears stemmed from. I think it was just a matter of what just happened. And me finally sitting in a moment where I didn't have to think, I didn't have to go, I didn't have to run. And the entire 2 months like hit my body. And I just kept crying. I just kept crying. And it wasn't like they just were soft tears, just kept coming. Just kept coming. And once they finally stopped, I wiped them and went back to sleep. And one thing my brother talked to me about was making sure that I did not use sleep as, a weapon to drown out the noise and then just sleeping through pain to the point of depression, because that's not going to solve anything, but sleeping because your body actually needs rest, which is the difference, which is why I made myself get up that afternoon instead of just closing the blinds again and turning back over. Because one thing I did when I first woke up the first time was go ahead and open the blinds. So go ahead and bring light into the house. My boyfriend, when we were friends, he was talking to me about letting light in the house. Because early on in the year, I was nearing depression. I really was. Because just so much had happened at the beginning of the year. I was nearing depression, and he had to talk me back to life, and he did. Which is one of the reasons why I fell in love with him. But anyway, but he talked me back to life, and so one of the first things I did, because I knew I was not in the best headspace yesterday, I opened all the blinds, brought light straight into the house, and it was a sunny day yesterday. I mean sunny. And on a normal day, it was actually a pretty good temperature, on a normal day, I would have got up, went to the park, walked around, went, exploring all these different things. But my body was like, no, we gonna be good to get in the shower today. And that's gonna be about it. Get in the shower and put some lotion on so you're not ashy. Outside of that, we're gonna get some food and we're gonna lay in the bed, watch a couple of movies, and that's gonna be about it. That's gonna be it. And I ended up getting the energy to cook last night because I really want some salmon like so bad, and I can taste it, and it's gonna be really great later on. But anyway, so I took the time to do that and just sit. And by the time the evening came, I felt myself like regaining energy, even if it was just a little bit, because I allowed myself time and space to just sit and not force myself to do anything. Whether it was going to be productive for me or not, I just didn't force myself to do anything. It just exists. But processing or trying to process all of what occurred the last couple of months, and then simultaneously processing the entire year, became a struggle. And one thing, unfortunately, that I was dealing with was the fact that, Raquel, you're not going to process all this out in 3 days. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to understand all that occurred or allow your mind to catch up with what your body experienced or walked through in this. and your heart. Like, you're not going to be able to process all of that. All of that occurred in the last 2 to 4 months really are some things that people experience in a lifetime or in a couple of years. And so you trying to hurry up a process of healing or of understanding or just getting it in a short amount of time frame or on your time frame or what time frame will be convenient for you is not going to work. It's not going to work. Because my whole thing was, okay, I gotta take these days to like get through I need to process all that out. I need to journal some days. I need to do some podcast episodes, and we're gonna get through all of this. Because Monday I gotta be back at work. School starts again, and I gotta be on my A game. I gotta do. I got things I gotta get done in the next couple of weeks. Like, I ain't got time to be sitting here crying and hollering all this and trying to do the big boss girl thing. And my body is just like, baby, guess what? Guess what? Guess how everything in your life is different. Guess how everything in your life is no longer the same. Everything is different. From where you were this time last year, God help us, thank you for deliverance, to where I am sitting today, everything is different. Everything is different. Nothing was the same, Drake. And literally everything is different. So you don't get the luxury, I'm talking to Raquel, you do not get the luxury of saying, yeah, you're going to have to hurry up with all that crying and stuff because we got to get back to the money. You're going to get to the money and be crying at your desk because you are not okay. And again, we're talking about some of the most beautiful, amazing, wonderful, loving, spectacular works of God happening at the same time of life kicking my behind at the same time. And so while I am wanting to enjoy and fully bask in this amazing, beautiful moment, it is underlying with grief and disappointment and failure and hurt and trauma and triggers, which causes me to work overtime to bring this higher and fully celebrate and acknowledge what this is and how wonderful it is and how wonderful all the things that are happening to me are. But it's like I can't allow this to drown out what's actively happening. You're actively not okay. Bae says I use actively in everything, but it's true. It's actively not okay. Like, you're actively dealing with sorrow and you're trying to have a really, really, really high moment drown out where you are. You can't do it. It's not going to work because when the lights and the camera and the action stop, you are left with this if you don't handle it. And not that you handle it in a short amount of time. It's not possible. Some things take time to process over. Some things are going to take a couple of weeks. They're going to take a couple of months. May even take a couple of years with help. But if you think that you rising to the top or you experiencing celebration after celebration or turn up after turn up and doing all these things to bring joy to a moment while ignoring or using that to numb pain that you are actively experiencing, it's not going to help. It's not going to help. You have to address these things, or this will be for nothing. For nothing. And so there are a lot of things that are in front of me and a lot of things that I have to look forward to and I have to look towards, and I will be growing into and changing and developing. This year is going to be very interesting for me. But before I can full throttle into those, I got to handle this back here. I got to go manage all of that. Not just manage, but work through it. Mourning situations, mourning friendships, mourning people, mourning things that occurred, celebrating where I should, grieving where I should, working through all of these things so that means more and it means what it's supposed to mean, and there's no underlying ick. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of my job at this point, is to work through all of that. So what I will be doing this season, as again, it's called the I don't know season, and I'm so serious I don't. But what I will be doing this season is walking through all of that. And I made it through this episode without tears, and I'm so grateful to God. But these next ones, I'm so sorry. We're going to laugh about some of it. But some other stuff, I got to talk through until I can be okay. So we're in for it. We're in for it. But it's going to be okay. And we're going to get help together. And we're going to heal together. And it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Because again, not everything was bad. There's some really amazing, wonderful things that I'm going to tell you about that I'm very, very excited. But that other stuff, we're going to have to take our time on those. Them probably going to be hour-long episodes. But we're going to sit and talk through it until we are better together. And that's my promise to you and to me. Okay? Hold me accountable. Check on your girl, chat, please. But hold me accountable to the truth and to honesty and to transparency. Because that's what we're doing here. So I love y'all so much. And I'm so excited to be back. I missed y'all. The days I did want to prop up a camera and be wanting to film, I just didn't have the capacity to, unfortunately. But I missed y'all. I missed talking to y'all. On both my platforms, I stopped the podcast as well as Let's Talk Live on Instagram. So I just been, and the Lord knew why I had to stop, because I had to get through the seasons that I was working through. But I missed y'all so much. So I'm really, really excited to connect. And prayerfully, some of this will help you in your own things. But I love y'all so big. And we'll talk soon.